everybody, it's the Grouchy Historian. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to make this introductory video here to talk about my new course that I'm very excited about, our American Constitution. All right, what is the course? Well, it's an introductory look at the Constitution, obviously, right? Its origin, structure, text, and interpretation via selected Supreme Court cases. More on that in a little bit. It will provide a forum for the student to examine some of the major political and legal issues facing our country. We're going to start with the Declaration of Independence, and then we're going to go into the Constitution. We're going to read some Federalist Papers. We're going to read a lot of documents from the founders, and everything for the course, except for a few selected links, which are provided, are in this book, The Constitution of the United States and Selected Writings. It's from Barnes & Noble. It's one of their collectible editions. It's 25 bucks. It's leather bound. It's awesome. Recommended, highly recommended, 2 books. Okay, number 1, Manual for Writers, right? This is the Turabian for any of you who have ever done academic writing. This is Chicago style. This is everything you need to know about doing papers. And yes, you're going to do a lot of papers in this class. Second, another book. If your student really is interested in this topic, I highly recommend this book, The Words That Made Us, America's Constitutional Conversation. It's intended to be the first book of a trilogy by a law professor whose famous quote, I'll paraphrase a little here, is the problem with kind of understanding the Constitution is that lawyers don't know history and history professors don't understand the law. He bridges them both excellently. A couple of other books here is the Heritage Foundation Guide to the Constitution. Again, this is a book that a law student would love, or a potential law student, and an introduction to constitutional law, which again is written by 2 law professors. It's meant to be kind of an introductory text to understanding some, again, shocking, some major Supreme Court cases, right? So what are the objectives? Well, we're going to introduce the students to the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution through the use of primary sources, almost exclusively, a few secondary source documents, but we're going to primarily look at the Federalist Papers, as I mentioned. We're going to read documents from the founders. We're going to read the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, right? How many people have argued about the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, but yet they have never read them? You're going to. We're going to introduce students to how these documents have been interpreted by the Supreme Court through a series of historic cases. That's right. The Constitution is a document that is, as we like to say at work, cussed and discussed today. We're going to go over cases you've probably heard: Marbury versus Madison, Dred Scott, Roe versus Wade. Yes, we're going to look at contemporary cases. Several of the cases that we're going to look at have been decided within the last decade. I have a couple of goals, two goals here, really. Number 1, develop critical thinking skills. This is important, I think, for students. I don't think it's done enough in the education establishment, and I know that it can be challenging for homeschoolers, so I'm going to help you out here. We're going to develop information processing, collation, and communication skills. Let me sum this up. I want to teach your student, hopefully help your student learn how to teach themselves, right? This is, in my mind, the most important goal of a secondary education is learning how to teach yourself something, learning how to learn, as it were. Because I don't know about y'all, but I've been learning my entire life, right? I've always had to learn new skills, whether they're for the job, to be a better parent, cook a steak better, figure out a new way to cook bacon, all the things. And most importantly, for this particular course, I want to try to get the student to interpret these documents into their own lives, right? The idea kind of goes with that critical thinking skills. Why is it important to understand the Constitution? It's just this old parchment you see in the museum, right? No. We're going to argue some really important Supreme Court cases. We always do, right? There's always a Supreme Court case on gun control, civil rights, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, gun control, political speech, right? Almost every year at the Supreme Court. That's why it's important. Now, one note, I would say that an American history course would be highly recommended before you take this course. Obviously, everything that happens with the Constitution happens within the context of American history. So if you understand why certain things happen, in particular in the Revolutionary era with the founders, it will make understanding why the Constitution was written the way it was so much better. Highly recommended to have had an American history course. For the format of this, we were homeschoolers for many years. We use a Catholic curriculum called the Colby curriculum. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. The Kolbe curriculum basically sets out, it's fairly well structured. It's basically 4 quarters of 7 weeks each, right? 6 weeks of instruction and then an exam week. That's pretty much the model that I followed here, with my own modifications a little bit, but it's basically set up as a 28-week course, okay? So who am I? Okay, here's my short sort of CV, I guess you would call it, right? What is my educational background? My educational experience, I've been tutoring history for about 12 years now, Greek, Roman, American history with the Kolbe method. This year, I've designed this course, to be perfectly honest, to be a senior level course. If you have very advanced, sophomores and juniors, that's great too. But this course is going to be very, very academically challenging. I designed it that way. I think reading is important, writing is important, thinking is important, and that's how I've designed this course, okay? Now, delivery method, here we go. This is what you were waiting for, right? Yeah, this is my first foray, as it were, into designing curriculum. I'm pretty excited about it. I think I've put together a good quality product. I've designed to have sort of 3 delivery methods. So the first one, obviously, is basically the copy of the syllabus for $49.97. This is 1 syllabus for the instructor, 1 syllabus for the student. What's the difference? The instructor gets the test questions. That's basically the difference, right? Otherwise, the syllabus looks remarkably similar because they're intended to be that way. For the premium, what I've done is obviously you get a copy of the syllabus and you get weekly introduction videos. Now, let me be clear. These are 26 video, what did I say? 24 videos, sorry. There's no video during test week. These are not lectures, right? Because seriously, nobody wants to hear me talk for 45 minutes. They're introduction videos. So I introduce the topic of the week, give a little background, hit some highlights of what the students need to be kind of on the watch for, and provide maybe a little context, historical context for that week, right? So they're about 12 to 14 minutes, which I personally, figure is about the attention span of the average teenager, being perfectly honest here. But I think they are important because if this is something that may be totally new to your student, I think these videos could be very helpful. This is the thing that I'm most excited about here. I've got a deluxe one, and I thought about this for quite a while, but here's what I want to do. I'm going to do, obviously, the syllabus, the weekly videos, and what I call bi-monthly office hours. That's right, twice a month, either the 1st and 3rd or 2nd and 4th weeks of the month, kind of depending on how my schedule goes. For the 28-week course, right? I'll be happy to have office hours during exam week if necessary to perhaps review, whatever. It's designed to ask questions and go over assignments. Now, if folks sign up for the deluxe, we will have some additional guidance for this option, right? Obviously, there's a lot more coordination that needs to happen here for these. So if folks sign up for the deluxe option, we'll have a little extra communication with y'all. Why am I doing this? Well, obviously, I'm a capitalist. I love America. I love business, but also I want to work on new material. And it was a lot of work to put this together. It took a lot of research materials. Yes, we do get, we're on Jeff Bezos's Christmas card club at Amazon. But here's some projects that are in the works, and I'll apologize in advance. I was hoping to have at least one of these other 2 curriculums done before the start of this academic year, but this course took a lot more work than I intended. I'm not going to be honest here. This course was a labor of love. But 2 other courses that I want to work on is A Patriot's History, if you've heard of that book, and Land of Hope. These are 2 American history books that a slightly different viewpoint, but they're both very, very good. And I'm trying to start working on, again, a 28-week sort of Kolbe curriculum for these 2 books as well. History podcast. I had a lot of people ask about a podcast. And I'll be honest, I've listened to podcasts. I have no clue how to put together a podcast, how to edit it. I mean, I can talk, right? If you want to actually hear me talk for 45 minutes, God love you. But I have no clue how to put one of these together. So this is going to take a little work, little resources, probably some professional help from people much younger than me. And of course, there is the Grouchy Historian website and blog. This is currently in work. Yes, I did hire a professional to put this together for me because the only thing that I know less than podcasts is how to do like a super duper website and blog. My job is to produce content that y'all want to read. But as far as setting this thing up, yeah, I'm putting somebody through college. Mary and I are for setting up our websites and blogs. So this is my plan, and this is why I'm asking for your support. I want to try to deliver quality products to you. I know that there's a lot of you that have asked me for good American history courses. I'm trying to respond. There's a lot of other projects that I'd like to do if there's a demand for them. I'll keep you updated as those kind of cook. These are much further along. A Patriot's History I've actually taught. I just need to clean up the curriculum, make the videos. Land of Hope is going to be starting from scratch, and then everything else. So hopefully I've answered your questions. If not, I'm going to put this up as a link on my Instagram page. You can always DM me on Instagram or email me, either way, if you have any other questions. So hopefully you'll consider supporting me, and hopefully I can support you with your academic pursuits. So thanks for listening.